afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the official DMT Press Conference. Two huge mega events in store for DMT. We've got June 26th Ignition and also July 30th Gravity. This afternoon, we're going to be fielding questions from the owner of DMT, Mr. Kurt Farrington, along with few artists we have on hand, Jamin and Razor of Nassau Chainsaw Disgraceland Demolition Committee, and of course the legendary Maniac Matt Bourne on hand this afternoon. Let's start right now with a few questions for the owner of DMT, Mr. Kurt Farrington.
Mr. Farrington, you have invested so much time and effort over the past 10 years with various Lucha Libre companies. What made you switch gears and start a company like DMT?
Due to the fact of all the fans of today in combat sports, getting behind mixed martial arts and MMA, what the fans are really looking for, with that being the top, combat sport at, the current time, they are, they're looking for the over-the-top, ultra-violent, and they're getting it to some degree, but we here at DMT are actually looking to take it to the next level, where this, and the MMA, there isn't, any storylines, we're looking to, fuse and hybrid pro wrestling with that, and, put more realism into the pro wrestling and storyline into the MMA, so basically it's going to be a combination and a hybrid of both, and, that's what we're trying to accomplish here, bring out more realism as well as storyline, and you're not going to know, where it starts and where it stops. It's going to be, we're going to try our hardest to give the fans, the element of surprise at all times.
What are your goals with this company, and how do they differ from the past?
Well, the difference between DMT and any of the Lucha Libre companies that I've started in the past is just recently we have, come on board with Nokia. And we've got a deal with Nokia worldwide where you'll be able to see all the matches, after they're filmed on your phone. And no matter what carrier you have, as long as you have a Nokia phone, you'll be able to see them, right after they happen. We've also teamed up with Brett Hughes, formerly of Sports Brand Media out of Australia, who is responsible for all of the European imports on ESPN, Fox Sports, Spike, you name it. And with his credibility and and he's really behind this product, the two of us are pretty confident that we will be able to bring this to the U.S. and the other 175 countries that he delivers his sports and combat entertainment on.
I have one more question. How does Shane Douglas fit into the picture?
Well, obviously Shane Douglas is the icon of hardcore wrestling. He pretty much started the whole thing, and it would be crazy to do something like this without such an iconic figure, as himself. Not only to lend in hosting the show and color commentary at the desk, but also his intellect and shaping the program. And obviously he's had so many years of this that between the two of us, we're able to come up with something brand new and fresh. And another thing that we will be debuting, and I can't talk too much about, June 26th, we are actually one of the few companies that are really doing this for the fans. And we are integrating a brand new technology that will be more fan interactive than you've ever seen, even with the top companies that are on TV currently. And once again, I can't talk too much more about that, but if you tune in on June 26th at Ignition in Los Angeles, it's us versus LCW. Another fact I'd like to bring up is for the first time ever on the West Coast, it's going to be East Coast versus West Coast. So there's a lot of, high anticipation of the program out there for that alone. And once everybody sees, the fan interaction that, we'll be, integrating into the program, we're sure to be a standout now amongst all the other wrestling companies that are out there.
All right, thank you. Now, maybe a few questions for our resident artists. We have from Nassau Chainsaw Disgraceland Demolition Committee, Razor and Jamin. Any questions that we can field for these gentlemen?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Razor. I hear your band is performing for Gravity and pay-per-view. Can you tell what the fans can expect from that?
Sure, we're performing on July 30th for pay-per-view and the Gravity DMT event. And basically what Nassau Chainsaw plans to bring to the table for this event is a musical performance of heavy metal that matches the live intensity of the wrestling matches that you see. By that I mean we will have flesh hook suspensions which is shark hooks put through the skin, pulling the flesh, people hanging from their skin, basically from the ceiling, and doing some flesh pull tug of wars, fire breathers, angle grinders, smashing TVs, and other destruction. So it's going to be a pretty intense performance, I gotta say. Jamie, you have anything to add to that?
Just get ready for some pain, some blood, and some heavy metal, man.
Hey, I have another question for you, Razor. Wow, that's pretty deep. There's some sort of ultra-violent tour going on with DMT and Chainsaw. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Me and Kirk have been talking about a possible DMT tour with NASA Chainsaw Disgraceland Demolition Committee, and that's going to be basically, you know, everything isn't confirmed yet, but it's in the works, and we have some sponsors that are interested in the tour, and I feel after the Gravity performance that should seal the deal, and they will be fully content with the performance they see, and they'll be interested in sealing the full sponsorship for the tour.
Thank you.
I got a question for you, man. I've heard a lot of wild stories about you guys, and I'm beginning to believe it all, man. I think I might even want to get in the ring with you guys at some point in time.
Get ready, man.
I'm getting excited about it, man. That's all I got to
It
say.
sounds good, Matt.
All right, and that's a great segue. Now we'll field any questions from all of the people in attendance right now for the legendary maniac, Matt Bourne.
Matt, this question is for you. It's been a while since we've seen you in action, and on July 30th at the Gravity pay-per-view, you're going to be facing off against one of the area's most sadistic players in the game. What do you think your chances are against Frankie Stars?
Well, before I address anything to Frankie Stars, I want to thank Mr. Farrington and DMT for allowing me to bring my game into the arena. I feel that it fits my mold, what I'm all about. I've been in the industry and been in the ring with the likes of Abdullah the Butcher, Stan Hansen, the late Bruiser Brody, and it's right down my alley. But to jump back to your question there, Frankie Starr, I never met the guy, don't know, don't really care to know. But when he comes out, I saw a promo he did about the 30th, about his match with me. When he comes out and shows me the lack of respect that he did and starts throwing out innuendos about me being a relic, the things he said, I've never been that way. I've always taken my opponents seriously. You know, I get in the ring, I do my speaking in the ring, and these guys like him are a dime a dozen. So, you know, I'll get through him, and then somebody maybe like the likes of Balls Mahoney will be next. But I'm really looking forward to being part of the roster.
I have one more question. How do you feel about DMT signing you up to the roster alongside the most recognizable names in the hardcore wrestling biz? And do you feel that you can match up when we haven't seen you compete at this level yet?
Well, I've always been, you know, I got the handle Maniac years ago by Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and I got that from the way I carried myself inside as well as outside of the ring. Been referred to a lot in my younger days as being a loose cannon, which maybe I very well was. But as I've gotten older and a little more mature, I've learned how to channel that and release it into the ring at my discretion. And so when you're talking about a level, I can raise the bar. I can set the level. And that's what I planned on doing with DMT. So there's a lot of young, phenomenal talent up and coming in DMT, and I think that's great. It sparks something in me that gives me a little bit more drive. So it's just awesome for me to be there, and I'm going to raise the bar. And as far as Frankie Starr, you know, I've never been a guy to make innuendos about what I'm going to do, foretell what I'm going to do to an opponent. I do my speaking in the ring when I get into the ring. But you know, actually, you guys want to know what I'm going to do to this punk on the 30th? Do you want to know what I'm going to do to this punk?
Nothing! Screw you, old man!
The fuck do you think you are?
the way things are shaping up here,
You
you're gonna have
start
to.
this shit with me! I'll finish it! I don't give a damn if it's here on the 30th! Bring his ass back here!
Come on. Guys, you're gonna have to order the pay-per-view June 26th, and don't forget about July 30th. This is DMT, and you best to believe some blood's gonna be spilt.
It's a ground break,